And welcome once again to another episode brought to you by Stu Him Productions presents
J&M Solve the World. I'm James.
And I am Matt. And tonight's topic, we're going to talk about Independence Day.
Independence Day or the 4th of July.
Either way you want to look at it.
Yeah. That's when we celebrate our Independence Day, is on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
At least in the United States.
Well, no, I mean, even Americans outside the United States, I mean, the 4th of July is still the 4th of July.
Yeah, but you're talking about Independence Day. The Mexicans celebrate on Cinco de Mayo.
Ooh. That is true.
And us Americans drink on Cinco de Mayo to help them celebrate their independence.
Right.
Just because we like to drink and, well, then there's
St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day. Every day Americans can think of to celebrate other cultures, we drink.
Any day that ends in Y.
That's exactly right. But no, I'm heavy-hearted right now, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about this.
Okay.
Our cohort in crime, Andy, couldn't be here tonight because his dad just passed away last night. And I would like to send out condolences to him and his family because it was a surprise. There was no health issues that we knew of and everything. And I would just like to send out condolences to the family as we get started on this podcast. Because this is going to scar Independence Day, 4th of July for him from now on.
Yeah, and but, you know, no one truly dies until you stop talking about them.
This is true.
You know, I mean, my mom passed away a couple of days after Mother's Day.
Right.
And, you know, that's a little heavy, but,
right.
You know,
my mom passed away during the pandemic of 2020, and the biggest part of that was I didn't get to see her for 3 months because of the pandemic.
Right.
Talked to her on the phone, and then they called me and told me she passed. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what did you just say to me?
All right.
Yeah, I didn't get to be there. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, let's get off the heavy subject.
But anyway, condolences to Andy and your family. You'll be back in the studio with us, and we'll get on to happier subjects now.
At some point, you'll be back. So, you know, growing up, living up in Illinois, fireworks were illegal.
Oh. You lived in that state, huh?
I spent a lot of time in my youth up there, but my friends, they all knew, you know, to get the fireworks, you either drove to Terre Haute, Indiana, or you came down to St. Louis.
Right.
We would end up having bottle rocket fights. One of my close friends, Chad,
which is really smart.
Yes, Chad, we would steal his dad's golf club tubes, and then steal the
out of his
golf bags.
Golf bags.
Yeah,
Shit.
and then
okay.
The pegs to the motorcycles, and we would make our own little like RPGs because Rambo was the thing at that time, and that's how we would do it. Or we would just take Roman candles and shoot them at each other.
Yeah. Hold them, some bitches.
As I've gotten older, I mean, for me, the 4th of July just doesn't hold a candle to shit I've seen overseas. I mean,
right.
When you see a spooky or a Spectre gunship and they're lighting shit up, you got that 105 and then the 40 just where you see an A10 right at dusk and it's coming in, and then you just hear and then the second one comes in behind it. I mean, it's just It's like, ooh, ah.
Well, I know we've had since we've had this house, we've had a 4th of July party here every year because, well, Amanda, my stepdaughter, my daughter, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's her birthday. And then in 2010, when my brother moved back here, his birthday is on the 10th. So we've had a 4th of July party. We usually do it on the Saturday closest to the 4th, or that's a little before or a little after. This year we're doing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the 4th is on Monday, and that's cool. But we used to always do fireworks and everything, and we always liked the artillery shells, the big shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then last year, we decided not to do any fireworks because we were going to play a little gig.
Yes.
And my wife Ann, she's like, yeah, that'd be good because the dogs freak out, her goats freak out, and then my brother, he's, he enjoyed it, but it kind of took him to a dark place.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm not going to mention his name or nothing but he's a Vietnam veteran.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the shit, and it just kind of brought him back to a dark place just hearing those explosions and shit.
Right.
Even though it wasn't nothing like what he experienced, but it was still.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, PTSD is PTSD.
Right. Regardless of whether they want to call it shell shocked or shock and awe or, whatever.
Right, yeah.
What was it? 2 days ago was actual PTSD Awareness Day.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I heard something like that. I mean, they didn't announce it like everything else. But
no, I only know that because it was a filter on Snapchat.
Wow. Couldn't we recognize something like that?
You would think, but with everything else that's going on in the country, it's like, that's the least of the worries because what's going on with the talking heads, we'll say,
Let's not get too political here.
No,
I understand what you're saying. There's not another Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial going on. So
right.
What the hell?
Well,
what are we gonna follow now?
Well, and I just heard, I just saw the thing that it was a meme, and it's like Giselle Maxwell is the first person to be sentenced to prison for trafficking humans to nobody.
Yeah, and she only got, what was it, 20 years?
Yeah, like 20, 25 years, something like that. But
yeah.
Still, who was she, who'd she traffic these children to?
Well, from what I understand, it was the big parties on his island.
Right,
Epstein's island.
Who all was...
who...
I'm still trying to figure out how somebody who is on suicide watch, who has 24-hour monitoring, is able to commit suicide.
Well, there was a lot of bigwigs.
Are you saying there's corruption?
No, I wouldn't say that.
So anyways,
4th of July, our independence. Our independence from the totalitarian English. Those damn English. Of course, I'm Scottish and Irish, so fuck them English. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't love England, but I've never been there, so I couldn't say whether I love it or not. I would like to visit. I mean, that's my dream trip is to go. Because I want to go to Scotland. Mm-hmm. I want to see the Stuart Castle and all that. And I was talking to some guys at a Scottish, at a Highland festival one time, and he said, you got to go to England. He said, but the best way to do it is you fly into Ireland. He said, it's cheaper, and then you take the little pedal jumper over to England, then there's a train that will take you on a tour that goes up through Wales and Scotland and back around and back down. He said, if you're over there, you got to see London and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. That'd be cool.
I want to go because I'm a fucking movie nerd. I want to go to Piccadilly Circus.
Right.
I want to see the theater where
American Werewolf in London.
Yes, where the werewolf comes out and just starts fucking laying waste to everything.
Right.
Walk the moors.
Yeah.
You know,
Stay on the path. Don't go on the moors.
there's the history. You know, I mean, because
Europe. You look at our history. It's a little over 200 years old.
As a nation, yes.
As a nation, and what the Europeans have built in this country.
Right.
Now, you can go to ancient, especially if you go down to Mexico and everything, and see the Mayan pyramids, those are thousands of years old.
Mm-hmm.
But in England, you can stay in an apartment that's 300 freaking years old.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, we can't as a nation even comprehend that.
Right.
I mean, we go look at all the stuff up in Massachusetts and everything that's 200 years old. We think, oh, that's cool.
The 13 original colonies.
Yeah. But you go to England and Ireland and Scotland, I mean, there's 400 or 500 year old buildings that's still there and they're still using.
Hell, you go to fucking Italy, to Rome.
Well, yeah.
To the fucking Colosseum.
I'm just talking about our descendants back in
Yeah.
England, Scotland, and Ireland and stuff, you know, but yeah.
I always, when I was younger, like way younger, I had an infatuation with the mafia.
Yeah.
I loved, I mean, yeah, okay, it was the movies, yada, yada, you know, Goodfellas, and...
Did you watch The Godfather as a kid, or was that a little before your time?
No, I watched it as, obviously not when it came out, because I was born the same year it came out.
Right.
And then through the 70s, it was more like... really got into Star Trek, or not,
Star Wars.
Star Wars. God, my mom would roll over in her grave if we didn't cremate her. But yeah, I mean, it was Star Wars. It was science fiction, and it wasn't until like the 80s did I go back and I watched The Godfather, and it was in the 80s where I got into Sinatra and Dean Martin and the whole Rat Pack. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, that is fucking, I mean, that would be so cool. Right. And then when I met my boy Dwight, shout out, bro. Dwight. We met in school in 29 Palms, and fuck, I mean, it was him, and there was another guy from New York, and we were all wearing our London Fog, yeah, coats, because we were going to school at night. And Dwight pulls out a cigarette, and there's like 14 lighters, just. And then the same thing was going on the other side, and it was just like beefing families and everything, and it was just fucking hilarious. And I called him Don, the Don, right, for the longest time. And
was he the Teflon Don?
No,
nothing's. I mean, everything stick to him, or nothing stick to him?
Yeah.
Everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dwight. You should have been the Teflon Don, buddy.
Too bad that motherfucker died right down the road in Springfield, Missouri. At the Federal Prison Hospital.
Yeah.
But watching the Italian movies and seeing the Italian families, because I mean, growing up, my parents were divorced,
right,
and it's like we had two separate types of family. We never really had that togetherness, if you will. And I see that in the movies, and it's like, man, that'd be fucking awesome.
Just the family.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's everybody coming together and having a big feast on like Sundays or whatnot. You know, and I mean, even when we would have family reunions on my mom's side, but still, I mean, everybody was like in their own little cliques.
Right.
Because it's like, well, who's that over there? Oh, well, that's your second cousin removed, third best, blah, blah, blah. And this is your great grandfather's sisters, brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles, college roommates, best friend. And it's like, what?
Yeah, see, that's, you know, when I was growing up, we had a tight knit family. It was me and mom and dad, and Gary and his first wife, and Chris. You know, we always got together for the holidays and everything. It wasn't a big family. I mean, it wasn't like we got, you know, 40, 50 people. It was just always just this close knit deal. And every other Christmas, her family, Terry, I'll mention her name. I mean, she was good to me. Terry, her family lived down in Lutesville, Missouri. So every other Christmas they would go down there. So we would go down and visit our Stewart family in Pleasant Hope. And, you know, it wasn't like tight, but we, you know, everybody knew each other and cousins. But then a couple of the brothers weren't getting along at the time, so they wouldn't show up at the same time and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't until Ann and I got together that I went over to her house when they had like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and there was like 50, 60 people plus kids showed up. You know, it was like, whoa, what the hell? But I mean, that was cool, you know, because I mean, if you are from halfway Missouri, you probably are related to my wife in some form or another, you know,
right?
Whether it be the Reds, the Shadwicks, or whatever, but you know, you're probably related.
You know, and that's
but that was, you know, that was cool, and then I like that and everything. But you know, it was just two different perspectives. But I didn't have that. I didn't grow up in that divided household.
Right.
You did.
Well, and I mean, even when we would go, like, we would spend the summers with my dad, and we would end up down at the lake. We'd spend Christmas with my dad, and we'd end up down at the lake because my mom, you know, she's raising 3 teenage boys at one time, and you know, she would always
for your mother. My God,
she would always volunteer to work Christmas to give you know, younger mothers the day off. You know, it worked twofolds. Mom, you know,
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you take that off, but I'm gonna get paid double time and a half,
right,
for working here. You know, and that was fine.
But she wasn't there with you,
right? And in my situation, you know, and which is different from my older brother or my younger brother. I've got we have a stepbrother who's the same age as I am. You know, he's 3 months older than I am. So imagine that, if you will.
right.
You're meeting your dad's new family, and then there's a kid your age.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah, I can't.
Right. You know, 10 years old, or no. I was like 7 when mom and dad got divorced. 7, 8, something like that.
Right.
And, you know, 7, 8, 9 years old, and then here's this other kid, same age, who gets to spend all this time with my dad. It's like, I've been replaced. Because my younger brother is the baby.
Right.
My older brother is the oldest.
Right.
I'm in the middle, and it's like, I just got replaced. But I mean, you know, summertime, it wasn't that bad because we were down at the lake. My stepmom's parents, my grandparents, Grandpa would he would take us down to the fireworks stand, and I mean, we would just go fucking crazy.
Right.
And, you know, bottle rockets, and they had lakefront property, and it would just be like, we would set up these bottles on the concrete wall and just
Like the Ozarks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think the first year we went on the boat down to Bagnell Dam and watched. And then we started setting off fireworks on the dock. And probably like 4 or 5 years, ended up people would sit down at the end of the cove, and everybody in the cove would watch our fireworks display.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like my grandpa and my dad just had a blast setting them off.
Right.
My grandmother loved it because she would get to set up on the deck because she didn't go down to the dock anymore. And I mean, they were, yeah, I mean, it was awesome, but yeah, I mean, they were a little too cautious, if you will.
Yeah.
All the kids, if you went down on the dock, you had to have a life jacket
Oh,
on,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Well, they were being wise because you could have fell in and died. So you know, erring on the
side of
safe
caution.
side.
Yes, you know, and I understand that, but
Because I'm sorry, they were probably having a few cocktails, and
shit.
they're like going, we don't want to like watch every one of these little motherfuckers all night long. So put your goddamn life jacket on if you get too close to the water.
I remember my grandfather taking us skiing, and he would walk down to the dock to put the boat in because he had the boat lift, and he would have like 2 or 3 Coors Lights with salt around the rim and a thing, you know, they weren't open yet,
You'd
but
have to
then
put salt around the rim on Coors Light to make it taste like anything.
and then he would, while we're out on the water, he takes a drink or two and then he pours in like clamato juice. And it's like this, you know, looking back on it, it's like, this is what we're doing. You're drinking while you have your grandchildren out in this fucking, you know, at the time, the largest man-made lake in America.
Did you know that Lake of the Ozarks has more, how they call it, shore than the state of California?
I believe it.
Because if you look at that son of a bitch on a map, it's snaking all over the freaking place.
Or it's dragoning,
Dragoning. Yeah.
being it's called Land of the Magic Dragon.
Yep. So, California, we got more shoreside on Lake of the Ozarks, plus all the other lakes we have in the state of Missouri. Yeah, we are a flyover country, so y'all just keep going over and we'll enjoy our shit.
Yeah. I mean, the state tax is bullshit, but, you know, I still
The state tax in Missouri compared to the state tax in California?
or the state tax in Tennessee.
Oh, well. Well, or move to Florida where they have no state tax and it just sucks to live there.
Well, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool when I was down there visiting Dwight.
Visiting's fine.
Yeah.
If you want fucking boa constrictors and shit crawling up in your garage, then I guess that'd be a great place to live.
Yeah, I'm good with the no reptiles.
You're good with winter in Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I still question every time it gets like extremely cold. I moved north of the Mason-Dixon line. Why?
I've thought about this, and my mom said this years ago. She goes, "I wouldn't want to live any further north."
No.
And I'm like, you're right, because I'm sorry. There's a lot of people that downgrade Missouri, talk about us being a bunch of hillbillies and all this bullshit.
Hey,
You know
at least we have an original name. It's not like Arkansas.
Yeah.
This is Arkansas. This is
Exactly.
Arkansas. That's your Kansas. This is Arkansas.
No offense to Arkansas.
No, all the offense. All the offense to Arkansas.
Actually, if I was going to leave Missouri, I might move to Arkansas because there's some pretty country down there. But we have 4 seasons here.
Yes.
We have a winter. We have fall, we have summer, and we have spring. This spring was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Because it kind of went cold as fuck one day, now we're up in the 70s. Then cold as fuck, and then it went, okay, we're 90 degrees now.
Oh, wait, but, it's officially summer now? Yeah, fuck you. 50 degrees. There you go.
But that's the deal with Missouri.
Yeah.
If you don't like the weather, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't know how my daughter does it. She lives up in Minnesota. She was born in Phoenix.
Fuck that.
Oh, trust me. Trust me, I know. But anyways, getting back to the 4th of July, we are going to celebrate with some good food.
Yep.
Some good company.
Yep.
And some damn good alcohol.
Well, there's that. Shout out to my nephew Howie for his and there's that. But yes, we are going to smoke it's over a 15-pound brisket.
Ooh.
And then we got people, our neighbors and friends and stuff are coming over. We're doing sides and everything, and we're going to celebrate the independence of our country. And we're going to celebrate the birthday of my daughter.
Yes, and I am making on her request my version of beer cheese dip. Yeah, and I've got to figure out a dessert, but you know, I got a couple hours.
Fuck dessert if you're gonna do beer cheese dip. Okay.
She asked me to do a dessert, so.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I thought I asked you to do that, but. That's what I was just thinking because you're good at whooping up shit like that.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah. Who knows? But you guys make sure that you like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, please.
Thumbs up or thumbs down.
Either way.
We just like hearing your opinions and.
James doesn't read the comments, but I do. So.
I do too.
Next couple of weeks, watch out. We may end up putting an email address up. So if you would like to email us, give us a topic that you would like us to try to solve.
Topics or questions.
Hey, there you go.
We're not experts on any fucking thing.
No.
This is just us sitting here bullshitting like we would normally do, but we're doing it on YouTube for you guys. And if you're entertained by it,
awesome.
Send us some questions. We know a little bit about everything and a lot about nothing.
I concur.
You want to talk wrestling, music, or whatever? I mean, if you just want our opinion, our opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Yes. But until next time,
I'm James.
And I am Matt.
This has been J&M Solve the World.
And until next time, we'll be seeing you.
Peace out, brothers.